And here we are. We're in the last block, last object here for CAM strategies for this 2.3.4. This one's called drilling. So we have a series of 6 holes, it's going to be 9 holes. These holes go all the way through if we take a look and spin this around. And then on the end here we have a counterbore, which is the larger section, and then a blind hole that doesn't go all the way through. Now, if you'll notice, if you look closely, these are a different diameter than these. There's a series of strategies we can use to go through this, and I'll show you them right here. Instead of using a 2D operation, I'm going to use a drilling operation. I'm going to use my 1/4 inch end mill because these are 1/4 inch diameter holes. Under the geometry tab, I pick a hole and I select this box here. It will pick all the holes of the same diameter and sort of plan its way through this field of holes it needs to drill. Height is good because I established that I want to use these holes and that they go all the way through. For cycle, I'm not going to do a drilling rapid out. I'm going to do something called deep drilling. A drilling rapid out would go all the way down and then come all the way back out. That would be okay if it was a thin piece of material and there wasn't a whole lot of chips that were going to build up. In this instance, we're removing a pretty substantial amount of material out of this. So we want to make sure that we clear those chips out of the hole. So we use this deep drilling operation and we get this thing right here called pecking depth. Basically what will happen is the mill will come down and drill a little ways and then lift up to clear the chips, and then go down a little more and lift up, and go down a little more and lift up. How far down it goes is right here. I'm going to set this, instead of a 1/16 of an inch, let's try 0.2 and let's see what that looks like. So it's going through its pecking order here, where it's slowly removing a little bit of material at a time, a little bit of material at a time. That looks okay to me, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that toolpath alone. Now let's talk about these over here. 2D pocket would probably be just fine for the counterboard areas. Oops. Pick the bottom surface that will determine my height for me. That looks okay. And then the last little bit here, these large holes, they're blind. They don't go all the way through. So what I want to do is do something called a bore. Or I can select this hole and this hole. Passes. That's okay. Linking. That's okay. And let's take a look and see what this looks like. This will actually helix itself all the way down. And that should give enough room for chip evacuation, for the chips to come back up out of the mill, out of the end mill, and out of the hole. Again, if it doesn't, and as we run this, we'll press stop and we'll reevaluate the toolpath. That looks pretty good to me. Let me go ahead and simulate the entire thing here. I'm going to speed this up because I don't really want to watch. If I look here, I don't see a whole lot of green left over, except for maybe the bottom there. Oh, looks like my end mill in my machine is not quite long enough to poke all the way through the bottom. We'll have to make sure that we use one that is. And that looks good.